In a previous Mass Effect lore video about the First Contact War, we mentioned that in the aftermath of the conflict, a few pro-human groups sprung up. One of those groups is Cerberus, which you'll likely hear a handful of times in Mass Effect 1. It becomes a far more prominent name in the later Mass Effect games, so it's worth diving into the organization's history. If you're enjoying our Mass Effect lore series, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel as well to get more Mass Effect content, like our Mass Effect Legendary Edition video review. Though Cerberus isn't founded until after the First Contact War, its origins are connected to the conflict. In the final moments of the war, the Turians pushed the Human Alliance back to Shanxi. General Williams led the resistance against the Turians, enlisting the aid of 3 mercenaries, Jack Harper, Eva Corre, and Ben Hislop. The trio managed to capture Turian General Decius Arturius. Yup, Arturius like Saren Arturius. Don't worry, we'll get to that. Anyway, Jack takes the lead on interrogating Decius, learning that the Turian is not there to take part in the ongoing war. Instead, Decius is searching for an artifact hidden in a research vessel that crashed onto the human-colonized world in the midst of the First Contact War. Using a datapad on Decius, the mercenaries mislead a group of Turians searching for the artifact into a trap. Ava is assigned to watch over Decius and the rest of the Turian prisoners, while Jack and Ben use the Turians' data to pinpoint the location of the artifact and go to investigate. The duo find the artifact. When Ben approaches it, it activates and ensnares Ben in a mysterious energy. Though Jack is able to pull Ben away, the artifact then emits a brilliant light. The resulting explosion envelops Ben, puts Jack into a coma, and distracts Ava just long enough for the Turian prisoners to escape. Decius captures Jack and Ava and takes the still intact artifact in for study. Jack awakens weeks later, under guard in a Turian prison. He and Ava are being overseen by Saren, Decius' brother. Saren tells the two that the war between the Turians and humans is now over, and both Jack and Ava are being traded back to the Alliance in exchange for Turian prisoners. Not Ben though, because apparently Ben is dead. After the exchange goes through, Jack asks General Williams how he plans to go after Decius. Still facing backlash over being the first human to ever surrender to an alien force, Williams' hands are tied. He can't order an investigation into Decius even if he wanted to. However, he does give Jack and Ava his personal ship and alludes that the two should go after Decius and stop him. Jack starts having visions of a coming destruction at the hands of synthetics and tells Ava that he is now linked to the artifact. He can feel its presence and he knows it's on Ilium. As humans are still new to Citadel space, the two don't know how to work the technology on Ilium. But then Jack's eyes begin to glow, and he suddenly perfectly understands how to work the alien technology. Before they can reach the artifact, Saren and Decius guards ambush the pair. One is revealed to be Ben, still alive and transformed into a cybernetic creature. Saren and Decius then join the fray, capturing Jack and Ava once again. At this point, Jack's eyes have fully transformed, taking on a cybernetic appearance. Wondering why Jack's transformation is so different from Ben's full-body metamorphosis, the Turians decide to bring Jack and Ava back to a lab on Palaven, the Turian homeworld. Jack, Ava, and Ben become the first humans to ever step foot on the planet. Jack and Ava are each imprisoned separately, and Jack continues to have visions related to the artifact, which only become more vivid after he sees a monolith that Decius is attempting to unearth on Palaven. Like the artifact, the monolith can transform organics into cybernetic creatures like Ben. The monolith can just do it on a larger scale. Decius hopes to use the monolith to transform the entire Turian species, making them all into powerful cybernetic super soldiers. Eventually, Jack's connection to the artifact reveals to him the truth. The monolith will enslave the Turian race, not just transform them. After convincing Saren of this, Jack, Ava, and Saren team together to prevent Decius dooming the Turians. In the battle, Ben is killed, for real this time, Eva is mortally wounded, the monolith is destroyed, and Decius is knocked out. Jack carries Ava away, and Saren seals his brother and the remains of the monolith away, in order to prevent anyone else learning about it. Following a memorial service for Ava and Ben, Jack comes to the revelation that humanity is ill-prepared to handle the threats in the Milky Way galaxy, which is full of more dangers than humans realize. In his mind, the only way to prevent humanity's destruction is to ensure that humans become the most dominant species in the galaxy. He writes the Cerberus Manifesto, which details his goals for achieving human supremacy, and begins building an organization. Having no idea as to the identity of the manifesto's author, the Human Alliance simply refers to the creator of Cerberus as an Illusive Man. The name sticks, and Jack Harper becomes the Illusive Man. The Illusive Man structures Cerberus around the idea of the three-headed dog of Greek myth. The organization exists to protect humanity from all threats, both known and unknown. The group is divided into 3 separate cells, each of which is further divided into individual projects that are overseen by project leads. All projects run independently of each other, reporting to the Illusive Man directly. As such, there's no way for one project to rat on the rest of the organization, as evidenced by Miranda Lawson, who is the lead for Project Lazarus, not knowing about the projects behind Subject Zero or the Overlord VI. So if a project or an entire cell is compromised, the Illusive Man can cut them off and preserve the rest of the organization. Of course, this makes it somewhat easy to take down Cerberus, defeat the Illusive Man, and the whole organization crumbles. As such, the Illusive Man remains in hiding, secretly speaking to his project leads on encrypted channels. Not many have seen his face, and even fewer have actually spoken to him in person. The other issue with this structure is that cells are so independent they can easily break off from Cerberus. Throughout the trilogy, you'll regularly hear about project leads that went rogue, omitting crucial details about what they were doing in the reports to the Illusive Man. Some leads went even further than that, like literally traveled further. You can find Cerberus operatives in Mass Effect Andromeda, having traveled to a whole other galaxy to continue their work without fear of the Illusive Man knowing about their projects. Though Cerberus only maintains a few projects at a time, the organization has operatives everywhere. The one exception is the Quarian migrant fleet. Their distrust of outsiders and inability to house members of other species prevents Cerberus operatives from easily living among them. Plus, the Quarians' community-driven culture and loyalty to one another prevents Cerberus from paying one of them off to be a spy. Be sure to check out our lore video on the Quarians and the Geth for more information on their backstory. Though Cerberus works in the shadows, their name is well known by the events of Mass Effect 1. In 2165, so 8 years after the First Contact War and 18 years prior to the start of Mass Effect 1, Cerberus became a public name when the organization tried to steal antimatter from the SSV Geneva, an Alliance cruiser. 5 years later, in 2170, in hopes of creating more human biotics, the Illusive Man ordered Cerberus operative Paul Grayson to bomb an Eldfeld-Ashland energy cruiser, in hopes its cargo of Element Zero would blanket the colony of Yondoa and create more human biotics. Though the incident caused a huge number of mental and physical disabilities, it did result in 37 children developing biotic abilities. Deeming it an acceptable trade-off, similar bombings occurred that same year, resulting in a large uptick of birth defects as well as an increase in human biotic births. Over the next 12 years, Cerberus would play a hand in several public assassinations as well, including Pope Clement XVI, in order to ensure more human leaders who approved of the Cerberus Manifesto would reach political and religious positions of power. Which is why when Shepard first hears the name Cerberus in 2183, the organization is regarded by human and alien alike as a terrorist group with racist pro-human ideology. The Illusive Man and his dozen or so of hand-picked project leads would disagree, arguing that they don't hate aliens. They largely preach that Cerberus solely exists to ensure humanity isn't stomped out of existence. Whether Shepard trusts them on that is up to you. And that's the backstory into Cerberus creation, as well as the organization's brief history between their foundation and the events of Mass Effect 1. Now that Mass Effect Legendary Edition is out and folks are playing the trilogy again, what Cerberus project most stands out in your mind when you think of the organization? For me, it's Project Eva, responsible for the creation of the infiltration combat mech Dr. Eva Kore. We never learn why the Illusive Man named one of his projects after one of his dead mercenary companions, and I've always wondered. Let us know what projects most stick out to you in the comments, and for more Mass Effect, be sure to subscribe.